coming up on the January edition of Channel 12's Lakeside News. We'll ring in the new year by showcasing our favorite stories from 2012. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show because Lakeside News is next. Hi, I'm Chris Feld and welcome to Lakeside News, where you'll find news and events from around the lake area. 2013 is here, and what better way to celebrate the new year than to take a look back at some of our favorite stories from last year. Up first, we'll introduce you to a local author who writes entertaining stories about growing up on Lake Minnetonka. Tyler Rabe reports.
Tom Rockvam is a local author who writes about his childhood adventures growing up on Lake Minnetonka.
Flew him about halfway across Crystal Bay.
Each year he makes a special visit to the 5th grade class at St. Therese School in Deep Haven.
Kids don't miss anything, do they? It's got to be 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I got an email from a 5th grade teacher at St. Therese by the name of Mary Davy.
I told him my idea, which was to come up with some worksheets and some story prompts off of his stories, and he was very willing to work with me and to let us use his material, and it has been just wonderful for the kids.
I talked this guy in the hardware store into, they had a cannon, it was really cool. It shot wooden bullets. You know, you think of this, I was a first grader. And I said, well, I was in here yesterday and paid for this, and the guy told me they'd have them in today. And he said, oh, okay. So I just walked out the door with it, you know. So I'm back in class, and about halfway through, there's a knock on the door. And open it up, and there's the principal of the school, owner of the hardware store, came walking in, and they look over the class, and he says, yeah, it was him. And so I got busted, you know. They get into the stories like you can't believe, and I think it's the same thing because a lot of the stuff I wrote about was when I was their same age.
One of the things on their worksheet is they write a story based on some incident that Tom wrote about that's happened in their own life, and so it's a nice way to make connections with someone from a different generation and be able to share stories back and forth.
I crawled under the bed and then my sister turned the lights off. And I was waiting there for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then my dad sat down. I reached out and I grabbed his ankles from under the bed, and I made like this really creepy monster noise. And then he screamed and he like jumped all the way back. And everybody, my whole family came rushing in, and then my dad's like, oh, it's just you.
Kids have not changed one bit. And that's why it's interesting listening to some of their stories. We'd circle out in the bay and come in and hit those two planks, and then cut the motor at the same time and pull it up and see how far we could fly that boat up into the yard. And when I pulled it up, I turned it just a little bit. That made it tough to get between the trees, so I just bounced off all the trees. But
everybody can be a writer. They too can be writers, and that you want to always write about the things that are closest to you, where you live, the things that are closest to your heart.
We had 40 rental boats at the resort, and every Friday we had to pull them up and wash them out, my brother and I. Every now and then part of that bucket would go over the top of the gunnel, and it would, of course, get me. So one day I said to him, after I'd taken about 3 baths, I said, okay, once more, and you're going to be wearing the boat. I would just have it on my fingertips and waiting for that next water to come. And when it did, I pushed it. Well, went over, trapped him underneath. I was running away, and I was running toward the lake, and he always carried a hunting knife in a sheath, and he stopped and he pulled it out and he zipped it at me, and I was probably 30 feet away, got me right in the rear end.
Tom is continuing to write and is currently in the middle of his next book, which will reveal more of his stories about growing up on Lake Minnetonka.
I probably do I don't know, 50, 60 talks a year on books all around, but nothing tops coming back to St. Therese and meeting with the kids.
Coming up after the break, everyone's favorite master of avoiding danger will give viewers some important severe weather safety tips. Lakeside News returns in a moment.
Here's what's coming up on First Responder TV. We'll experience Operation Black Cat, a large-scale emergency training exercise that brought many local public safety agencies to Mound. I'll introduce you to Becky White, the public fire safety educator for the state of Minnesota. Scam Alert will give you an update on scams that have been targeting citizens in the lake area. And we'll recap the Excelsior Fire District's Fire Prevention Open House and Safety Fair on Safety Source.
First Responder TV airs daily on LMCC's Channel 12.
And now it's time for Lake Minnetonka's favorite champion of safety, protector of humankind, and master of avoiding danger, the LMCC's safety expert.
All right, safety expert, grip it and rip it. Ooh, I didn't see that horse over there. Yowzers. Oh, hello. The LMCC safety expert here. It's a beautiful day here in Tonka Bay, Minnesota, near the LMCC forest. And I've got some extremely important severe weather safety tips for you. Now, severe weather can strike at any moment. Damaging winds, hail, severe thunderstorms, and tornadoes can wreak havoc this time of year. What is that? Is that a wind? Is that a fan? Camera operator, what are you doing? This is ridiculous. Now you're even in the shot. A fan? A fan for wind noise? Well, explain yourself. Enough of that. I don't want to hear this anymore. You are cruising for a bruising, mister. Get that fan out of here. All right, now that's better. Now you need to take severe weather seriously. I'm trying to help these people. Okay, mister, a storm could roll in here at any moment. Wait a minute. Is that a storm cloud? Well, you know what? I think we'll be okay, folks, because I don't see any lightning. Oh, great. Now there is lightning and some thunder, too. You know, folks, I think I need to seek shelter immediately. I think that tree will be perfect for me, and the old golf club can shield me from the weather. What was that? Oh, you think it's dangerous for me to use this golf club and I shouldn't stand under a tree? What do you know, camera operator? Listen, you just be quiet. Oh, there's another thunderclap. You know, folks, I need to seek some shelter. So I think what we're going to do is send it to the National Weather Service in Chanhassen, where they're going to have some valuable severe weather safety tips. Oh, you know, okay, I'll see you in a little bit.
What we do here at the Weather Service is we're watching the weather to make sure that we get warnings out so that people can be safe. We issue weather forecasts so that people know what's coming up. If you're prepared, then you're going to be that much more ready to react when we issue the warnings. If you hear the sirens, if you hear the weather radio sound off, if you're prepared, you're that much more ready to get to shelter. If there's a watch, that means that severe weather might happen. It doesn't mean it's definite. When we issue a warning, that means that there really is a storm out there that has a tornado or has really strong straight line winds or hail. That means get to shelter. Sirens are not enough. You need to have some other kind of item that'll let you be aware of what that warning might be. Whether it's your smartphone, whether it's your weather radio, just be aware that you need to have multiple ways of getting that warning. We'll issue warnings for severe thunderstorms. There might not be a tornado, but there could be very strong straight line wind that can cause an awful lot of damage. The first thing with thunderstorms is to remember that there's lightning, and so with lightning you need to get inside. Get inside a building, get inside a vehicle.
Meanwhile, back in the LMCC forest.
This is not good at all.
It's important for you to have a plan to know what you're going to do if there is a tornado that's coming your way. The number one thing is to have looked around the house beforehand to figure out where would you go for shelter. So some people will go to the lowest floor That's really the best place to go, to the lowest floor, the interior room. You just need to have a supply of food and water, batteries, flashlights, important paperwork, those sort of things. If you're out in a car, especially here in the Twin Cities, what you need to do is find a shelter, run inside a building if you possibly can. If you're caught at the absolute last second, then you've got the choice. You can either get out of your car and get into a ditch, or you can just stay inside your car, get down on the bottom of the car, the floorboard. The number one thing is don't put yourself in that position. If there's a warning out, don't go driving around somewhere. The main thing is to be aware of the potential of severe weather and have a plan. Figure out what you're going to do if those warnings happen, and make sure you have a way of getting those warnings. Again, sirens are not enough. Make sure you have a weather radio. Make sure you have a smartphone. Sign up for some kind of service that'll actually tell you if you're in the area where there's a warning. So make sure you're aware of those warnings and then have a plan if severe weather does strike.
Oh, looks like the old safety expert lost that storm cloud. Well, what do you expect from a master of avoiding danger? Well, I hope you all learned some valuable severe weather safety tips today. I know I sure did. I guess you could say this segment was electrifying. Great, another storm cloud. Oh, well, I've got a splitting headache right now. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of the Expert Safety. Grandma, are the cookies ready yet? Coming up next, we'll showcase some of our favorite community event promos from 2012. Lakeside News returns after this short break.
Did you know that the leading cause of death for Minnesota teens are traffic crashes, and that 75% of teens killed are not buckled? As a parent, there are many things to worry about when you give your teen the keys to your car. But poor choices don't need to be deadly. One of the safest choices they can make is to buckle up. And teens are more likely to buckle up if they see their parents doing it all the time.
A message from our partners at AAA and the Minnesota Safety Council. For more information on Live to Drive Another Day, visit myfox9.com.
Meet Martin. This eager young lad has just received a flyer for the Spirit of the Lakes Festival and Mount Centennial Extravaganza. And just in time, because Martin is in desperate need of a date. Last year, he took Gretchen to the fair, but nothing was good enough for this princess, and she complained the entire time. Martin also went on a date with boring old Betty, who had absolutely nothing interesting to say, and a unibrow. But this year's going to be different for our would-be hero, because he's determined to take out the prettiest girl in all of Hennepin County, Wendy Waltersdorf. Don't be scared, Martin. It's only a telephone. Uh-oh, sounds like she has plans already. Just remember, Martin, girls like a little persistence in a man. Whoops, strike two. Dirty limericks as a pickup line aren't appropriate, big guy. This time, make sure to tell her all about the fantastic events that'll be going on at this year's festival. There'll be plenty of music, outdoor activities, a parade, and plenty of tasty food. Attaboy, Martin. Third time's the charm. Looks like that infectious enthusiasm of yours won Wendy over. Make sure to join the fun at the Spirit of the Lakes Festival in Mound Centennial, celebrating 100 years of Mound, Minnesota. The festivities begin on July 13th and run through July 22nd. Visit www.spiritoftheLakes.com for more information. Go get 'em, Tiger.
Meet Butch. This troubled teen is always looking for a good time. Today, he's only got one thing on his mind: the Maple Plains Centennial celebration. Butch Sr. won't shell out the keys, so this larcenous lad has got to find his own wheels. Bingo. Hey fellas, it's time to celebrate 100 years of history. Only a few expired tabs later, and Butch and his gang are on the run from the fuzz. Wildly racing from one vessel to the next,
Butch gets closer to his beloved destination. The search is on for this teen in turmoil, who will stop at nothing to join in on Maple Plains' fun and festivities. But the boys in blue are closing in, and they've set the perfect trap. You're under arrest, junior jailbirds, and you've got the right to remain excited, because the coppers are taking you downtown to the Maple Plains Centennial celebration on August 18th. Sing Sing can wait, because even the Fuzz don't want to miss this action-packed event. Visit www.mapleplain.com for more information.
Meet the Coopers. This all-American family is trying to decide where to go on vacation this summer. Dad wants to take the boys hunting, but Mom sure won't allow that. Here's a suggestion. How about a can't-miss, family-friendly, classic car show in the greatest town in America, Victoria, Minnesota? What do you say, boys?
Gee, Dad, sounds swell.
Don't forget about the dogs. What about Arnold? And so their journey begins. The bags are packed, ducks are all in a row, and only 5 hours behind schedule. Careful, Bobby. That's not a toy. Uh-oh, looks like someone was looking at the map upside down again. Don't take it personally, Mom. With a stroke of luck, the Coopers are back on track. Almost there, boys. Hey, boys, let's behave in the back. You don't want your dad to turn the car around. Hey, and what's that? There it is, Victoria, Minnesota. And it's in color. Look at all those classic cars. What a sight. Be sure to drive your ride to our classic car night in downtown Victoria, Minnesota. Wednesdays from 6 to 9 p.m. June, July, August, and September. Don't miss it, and come on down to Victoria. Coming up on Precious Pets. Hey, aren't they cute? Uh-oh, everyone's favorite pooch, Corporal Cuddles, isn't wagging his tail on tonight's episode.
We interrupt this program to bring you this important message.
The Lake Minnetonka Communications Commission, located in Spring Park, Minnesota, offers free television production classes. You heard it right. Free. All you need to do is sign up and show up to receive your special TV training. That's right, folks. That's it.
Wow, that sure looks easy.
Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help bring your idea to the big screen. Well, that is if you have a big screen.
Why, thank you. We are very friendly and knowledgeable.
You'll learn the secrets of how a television studio works.
If you can't see video, try taking off the lens cap.
Wow! Thanks, LMCC.
From studio lighting and nonlinear editing to on-location shooting, we'll guide you down the path you need to succeed. Just call us at 952-471-7125 or go to our website at www.lmcc-tv.org to get started today. Hurry in, folks. An opportunity this good won't last forever.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
The 2012 CP Holiday Train. All right! Everything we race here tonight
stays here tonight to help those less fortunate. So thank you very, very much. We have Mayor Cook to begin the dignitarial celebration.
All right. Thanks for everybody for coming out tonight. I'd like to thank the CP Holiday Train for making another stop here in Loretto. Always great to have you. And I'd like to thank everybody for the food shelf donations tonight. And a big thank you to our Holiday Train Committee and Chairman Mary Schneider. Great round of applause for her. And hopefully have a great night. Thank you.
A ridiculously oversized check in the amount of $3,000 that we present to the Hanover food shelf. It's our pleasure and honor to be able to pass this money on from the community to the Hanover food shelf, where they will put it to good use in the community.
Well, there you have it. News and events happening in and around the lake area. You have a news story or see something exciting going on, please let us know. We can be reached here at the LMCC at 952-471-7125, via email at lmcc@lmcc-tv.org. Or please check us out on our website at www.lmcc-tv.org. Thanks for watching Lakeside News, and Happy New Year!